Welcome back to my Houston Texans franchise rebuild here on Madden 22. This episode we will be tackling the offseason. We just wrapped up our first official full season with the Texans. We went 5-12. We have the third pick in the draft, and as you can tell, we have $101 million in cap space, so I'm very excited for this offseason. First, let's scroll through the retirement, see if anyone notable retired. Alex Mack retired, Ben Jones, Matt Prater, Kyle Long, our right guard retired. That's not great. Joe Hayden retires. Big Ben retires after spending, I think, the entire offseason or the entire season on free agency. Gerald McCoy retired. Ndamukong Suh retired. Emmanuel Sanders, Janoris Jenkins, Brian Hoyer, Chase Daniel, Richard Sherman, Case Keenum, K'Wan Short. That was a list of decently known names. Jimmy Graham, Bruce Irvin, James Carpenter, Matt Moore, Earl Thomas, and Pete Carroll retires. So that'll be interesting for Seattle to see what they do. Here is the third official mock draft. They have Julian Chambers going number 1 to the Jets, and they have us taking a quarterback. I will not be taking a quarterback, just so you guys know. But aside from me not taking a quarterback, let's look at the rest of this. They have the Falcons taking a quarterback. Brian Tyson going 4, J.D. Pryor, Steven Madsen, that's one player that I'm sort of looking at. I'll have to see if I know anything about him. There's Oscar Ziegler, another receiver who's listed as a deep threat that we may be able to trade back and get. This looks like a very wide receiver heavy first round. Last year, a bunch of corners flew off the board. This year, it looks like a bunch of receivers are going to fly off the board. All right, there are 13 players ready to negotiate. And honestly, I don't know how many of these guys I want to bring back. I'm going to bring back Donald Parham. Or Donald Parham. Or at least try to. I'm going to bring him back on a little bit of a cheaper deal. See if he takes this. Alright, so he'll come back and be a backup. Sean Colvin. I believe he was one of our undrafted guys, right? Go ahead and offer him a 3-year deal. Because he is very much a developmental guy, but I like all the traits that he has. Dominique Ivy. If I can bring him back on another, 1-year deal. It's like 1 year, 2.85. Okay, you can go test free agency. I don't know if anyone will sign you. Jimmy Moreland, we're going to let him walk. Terrence Mitchell, we're going to let him walk. Titus Howard, I really feel like I can't afford to let any linemen walk. So we'll offer him a 2-year deal. We got him back. Jordan Jenkins. He dropped a bit. What happened? Skill regression. He lost tackle, power move, injury, awareness, tackle, and finesse move. That is not great. We are not going to bring back Jordan Jenkins. At least not right now. Max Sharping. If I can bring you back for an even cheaper deal than what you were on last year, maybe. Okay, fine. Go play for a new team then. Mason Cole and Kevin Pierre-Louis. Okay, the rest of these guys are going to walk. We will try to obviously build around them. The only other one is Jason Verrett. 89 speed, 79 man, 82 zone. Without him, I feel like our corners just don't look that good. We still have Desmond King, but he's already an 80 overall. Alright, we're going to let him hit the free agent market. We will see if anyone goes after him. Okay, but we get some combine results now. Julian Chambers, what was your speed? Great, a 4.4 speed. I would really like the opportunity to draft him, but I don't think we're going to get to, and I'm not going to trade up. Okay, what did you do at the combine? Ran a 4.45, so his speed is solid. A, medium route running, B, release, A, stiff arm. We don't know his catching. I like that EA tried to do something different with the scouting, but it needs to be improved. Because certain things I should know about, like receivers, catching is one of the first things it should scout. I don't need to know a receiver's stiff arm. Steven Madsen. So we know about him. 4.48 40. B catching, D zone. See, I don't know anything about him though. I guess because my scouts, I did not scout middle linebackers, which is probably my bad, but... Also, Greg Sauter, who's a first round. But wait, where's that? There was another receiver that was like a top pick. Oscar Ziegler. What did you end up running? A 4.46? Okay, never mind. I would rather take Brian Tyson. Brian Tyson, 6'5". Wow. And there's Greg Sauter, who ran a 4.46. We know he has A catching. Okay. We will have some decisions to make here in the next few weeks. Okay, so free agency has some interesting things, like Tom Brady and Baker Mayfield are both in free agency, along with Jimmy Garoppolo. Taylor Heineke looks like he's going to be a Buck, but Tom Brady may be going somewhere new. That is interesting. Okay, so here's the first round of free agents I'm going to offer to. We have a ton of cap space to use this year, but Von Miller just wants a one-year deal, so I'm trying to get Von Miller on a one-year rental because I think it'll be fun. Then you have Miles Sanders, who I'm going to try to get, and then maybe trade Tariq Cohen, possibly. Bobby Wagner, no one else is offering him. Cameron Sutton, David DeCastro, and Terrence Steele. I know I said I wanted to get younger, but if I can add Bobby Wagner and Von Miller, our defense is immediately better. Okay, looking at league signings, Zadarius Smith is a Seahawk, TJ Hawkinson is a Cardinal. So they just added TJ Hawkinson to that offense. Von Miller rejected our contract, he's going to Atlanta. Kareem Hunt's going to Atlanta. Montez Sweat's a Philadelphia Eagle. Juju's going to the Raiders. Jamal Dean's going to the Raiders. McCole Hardman's going to the Raiders. The Raiders made a big splash. So I managed to sign Miles Sanders, Bobby Wagner, Cameron Sutton, and Terrence Steele. Miles Sanders I brought in because I think he's going to be a better option than Tariq Cohen. I like Tariq Cohen, but I think I can trade Tariq Cohen and use Sanders, Glass, and Pirine, and I think that'll be a really good backfield. Then we have Bobby Wagner that I managed to get, so Eric Wilson might be getting traded, or I could just keep Eric Wilson as a decent backup. He's not on a huge contract. Bobby Wagner's only going to be here for 2 years. Hell, he might retire after the first year. Then Cameron Sutton was just a good depth corner, and then Terrence Steele just to have someone over Tracy Kitchens playing. But looking at what's available, there's still Brandon Cooks, Tom Brady still hasn't been offered, Jason Kelsey might be a Bengal, J.J. Watt's probably going to the Packers, which makes sense, he went to college in Wisconsin, Casey Hayward, Tony Pollard is here. Baker Mayfield still hasn't been offered. A lot of these guys still haven't been offered. I'm going to go through and see if there's anyone that I missed that may be able to help us. And I didn't even look at that. Looks like we're not going to get David DeCastro because I really don't want to pay him as much as he is wanting here. So let's see if there's another veteran that can fill in here. Okay, so the two I added to my list are Sheldon Richardson and Brian Winters. I took off David DeCastro. And I'm not spending a ton of money here, but that's just because there weren't a ton of like young free agents that are like elite level. Like last season, Devontae Adams hit free agency. I would have just backed that Brinks truck up to his house and signed him, but no one like that hit free agency. I'd say the closest thing is probably Brandon Cooks, who looks like he might be going back to New England. But now we have Pro Day results. Let's see what Tyson's Pro Day speed was. A 4.43, so a little faster. We still don't know his catching, and I guess he's like done being scouted. I don't think we're going to have the option to take Julian Chambers. What did he run at his Pro Day? A 4.34? My God. We also have the fourth mock draft, which has Julian Chambers going number 1. Still has us taking a quarterback. That's not going to happen, but you know, it's whatever. Brian Tyson, Steven Madsen, Oscar Ziegler. Still a ton of receivers going in this first round. If Philly takes a first-round receiver again, I think they took a receiver in the first round last year. I'm not going to guarantee that. All right, we get 3 private workouts. We're going to bring in Brian Tyson to learn a little bit more about him. Steven Madsen, so I can get a little more on him. And, you know, let's bring in Tyquan Morrison. Just so I can learn a little more in case I don't want to go receiver at number 3. All right, Brian Winters and Sheldon Richardson have both been signed. I'm still really excited for this. Obviously, it might be my bias. I am an Eagles fan, but I'm excited for this. But this is also, I'm really excited for Bobby Wagner. Once again, Tom Brady, Baker Mayfield, still no contract offers for them. Little ridiculous. You can say it's my Eagles fan bias all you want. I'm going to offer a contract to Brandon Graham. I did kind of lowball him. I think the total points is like 66 points, but I think he'd be a terrific backup / rotational guy on our defense. Okay, so we land Brandon Graham. He's not going to start over Jacob Martin. He's just going to be a depth guy. But our free agency class is Miles Sanders, Bobby Wagner, Cameron Sutton, Brandon Graham, Sheldon Richardson, Brian Winters, and Terrence Steele. Like I said, there wasn't a ton of big names. There was Zadarius Smith. We don't need a left outside linebacker. We just took one in the first round last year. Malik Morgan just won Defensive Rookie of the Year. Then you got TJ Hawkinson, but we don't need him. We just signed Robert Tonyan. Even though he apparently took a bit of a downgrade, I wasn't willing to pay another tight end a decent sized contract. Brandon Cooks. We already had Brandon Cooks before I traded him. I honestly thought about bringing him back, but if I take a receiver at 3, I think that receiver at 3, DJ Chark and John Ross, mix him with some Floyd Bryan, I think we'll be fine. Von Miller, I tried to get. Kareem Hunt, I got Miles Sanders. Jason Kelsey, didn't need a center. We took one in like the second round last year, and he's good. So there was just no one that I was really willing to throw a ton of money at, so hopefully we can carry some of that over, and we will maybe make a big splash next season. But the unsigned guys, are Tom Brady, a couple punters, Baker Mayfield, Bryce Callahan, Kyle Fuller, Jason Verrett, Cole Beasley. So there's a few guys I'll be able to look at the end of the draft to fill some roster spots. And the final mock draft still has us taking a quarterback. Not going to happen. We now know 100% about Brian Tyson, so we will go look at him. But I think Tyson's going to be the pick. 4'3", he's 6'5". He's got B catching, A deep route. D injury isn't great, but hopefully it's not a big issue. B catching, C catching traffic, A medium route, B release. A spectacular catch. I think we're going to go Brian Tyson at number 3. Unless we get a ridiculous trade offer. If we get a trade offer to move back to like 5 and pick up like an extra first next year, I'll probably look at doing that. All right, the NFL draft. Let's see. With the first overall pick, the New York Jets take Julian Chambers, wide receiver, Oregon. Not really a shock at all. With the number 2 pick, the Atlanta Falcons take Tony Youngblood, quarterback out of Wisconsin. Once again, not really a shock. He was mocked to them since, I think, mock 3. Okay, but can anyone offer us a top 5 pick? The Lions are willing to give us their number 1 pick next season, or their first round pick next season. Philly's willing to give us their first and second round next season. Miami wants to give us a first and a third this year. Miami was the one I kind of used as a example. But the question is, if I trade to Miami, who am I getting? I don't need Steven Madsen. I just signed a middle linebacker. I don't need a corner. A right tackle might be decent, but I know really nothing about him. So it looks like your national scout will obviously give you your biggest completion percentage, so next season I will have that knowledge. But you know what? Before we make our official pick, let's go look at some draft stories just in case there's something crazy that I missed. Florida State quarterback Bobby Walters elect to skip combine. USC wide receiver Owen De Poffy converting to tight end. Alright, nothing about our guy. North Dakota State quarterback Miles Backus, voted FCS Player of the Year. Alabama quarterback Spencer Dunn, who came away with a Heisman Award. Dunn's not even he wasn't even the top 2 QBs. He's the 4th QB, and he won the Heisman. He's a 3rd round projected. Someone's going to get a superstar or a star. Someone's going to get a star dev trait late. But we are going to go wide receiver Brian Tyson with a hidden dev trait. 93 acceleration, 89 speed isn't great, but 94 jumping, 91 agility. I think he's going to be a great jump ball receiver. We already have speed guys with guys like Reggie Simon and John Ross. So I think he's going to be a good downfield threat that can win jump balls. All right. And the Carolina Panthers select quarterback Travis Tracy out of Wisconsin. Miami takes left end J.D. Pryor. Detroit has back-to-back picks here. They take Steven Madsen. And they also take Roman Hinton. So they take a middle linebacker and a tight end. They just lost TJ Hawkinson. Kind of makes sense. Pick 8 goes Oscar Ziegler to the Bills. The Dallas Cowboys with the 9th pick take Greg Sauter. So that is 4 receivers in the top 10. And then the Colts take a left tackle. Tyquan Morrison is a Saint. The Chargers take Evan Grubbs. Paul Gamble, another receiver, off the board to the Raiders. Javier Ruiz goes to Seattle. Pick 15, Ezekiel Stackhouse, defensive back, Colorado State. Pick 16, Eric Fitzsimmons, cornerback, Florida State. The Browns take a left outside linebacker. The Bears take Harvey Monroe. The Jaguars take Von Bozeman. Another receiver goes in the first round, and we'll actually have to play against that one. The Philadelphia Eagles take Cameron Smith, wide receiver, Oklahoma. Brenton Leslie is the next pick, a right outside linebacker out of USC. Pick 22, the Giants take Bryce Freeman, quarterback, Colorado. So I believe now obviously, I didn't make a draft board because I feel like making a draft board with this scouting system is just, it's weird and it messes with the mock draft completely. So Kendall Tolliver out of North Carolina and Spencer Dunn are the top 2 quarterbacks left. And then there's Miles Backus, who won FCS Player of the Year. There's a few interesting quarterback prospects in this draft. Sheldon Vincent goes to the Packers. Darryl Coles goes to the Broncos. Brandon Demps, running back out of North Carolina, goes to Miami. Jeremiah Williams goes to California. Jeremiah Williams from California goes to Tennessee. Washington takes Montrell Henson, defensive tackle out of LSU. The Chiefs take Jawan Thomas, left tackle out of Virginia Tech. The Steelers select Enrique Curry, left tackle out of Ohio State. The Buccaneers take Jaden Langley, running back out of Miami. The Super Bowl loser, Arizona Cardinals, take Christopher Kendricks, running back, UCLA. I think that's the second year they lost in the Super Bowl. Didn't they lose the Super Bowl the first season too? But then the Super Bowl champion Cincinnati Bengals take wide receiver Reuben Woods out of Georgia. So to start the second round, the Jets will take Rashad Toll, defensive back, Florida State. And then the Falcons take Armin Samuels, defensive tackle, Texas. Let's see if there's anyone on this board that jumps out at me. Left tackle Perry Patton. I could play him on the right side, possibly. What is your strength? Not great. B, lead block. B, run block power. A, impact block. B, awareness. Perry Patton is an option there. If it would let me select the next guy I want to look at, which is Perry Judge, a defensive back. He's only 5'9". We don't know much about him. He's not incredibly fast. Okay. Probably not the pick then, even though he's skyrocketing up draft boards. And I know we have a left tackle, but we're going to draft Perry Patton to play on the right side. And hopefully he is decent. I have another pick here in this round. And how's my right outside linebacker look? Because Earl Benedict is sitting here with D tackle. Never mind. Okay, so with our second round pick, what we're going to do is Green Bay is offering their first round pick for next year. They're expected to be really good. They're expected to be into the first round, but I'm just going to accept that offer. And we had the second round pick 14. Trade that to the Packers. We get a first round pick next year, and they take Derek Jefferson. There was just no one at that pick that I was absolutely in love with, and I felt like a first round pick for next year is a bit more valuable. And with the second pick in the third round, I'm going to take Brian Horan, left guard. All right, normal dev trait, not great. I was kind of hoping he would have a hidden dev trait, but we'll see how good he is here in a minute. So far, only one hidden dev trait. Not great for us. All right, we're going to take another offensive lineman here in the 4th round. He has F stamina and F pass block finesse, but he has A impact block and B run block. So we're going to take Josh Minshew. All right, and round 5, pick 3, we're going to take Orlando Michael out of, I forget, it doesn't even tell you on this where they're out of, I don't think. But he's got C zone, C tackle, C stamina. I can't see his man coverage, but he does have 4.48 or 4.43 speed. And he's also 6 foot tall. That was one thing I was looking at. So now we start our 6th round, which we have 4 picks in. Okay, here we're going to take Floyd Spence. It's another middle linebacker. He'll probably end up on the practice squad. He's supposed to go in round 3 to 4, and we're in round 6, so he's probably not going to be great, but he has 4.46 or 4.39 speed. So he is definitely going to be a guy that probably ends up on the practice squad, but I can't pass up a linebacker with 89 speed. All right, next is going to be Jeremiah Moats, who has decent physical traits, and then his skills, F stamina, but D finesse move, C play rec, B tackle. Adding more depth to the defensive side of the ball, if I could talk. This guy has a draft story. I just wanted to show you guys this. He has a draft story that he's willing to bulk up and move to tight end. I have him 95% scouted. F catch in traffic, F catching, F deep route, F kick return, F spectacular catch, F release. Yeah, no wonder you didn't want to play receiver in this league. But see, now I'm curious, if I draft him and then move him to tight end, will he be a decent pick? Because he had a draft story. I don't know if those are always good. All right, we have Manny Crable, a right tackle out of Washington. Oh, no, it does tell you on the scouting report where he's from. I'm just blind. A right tackle out of Washington State. He's 2nd in bench reps and then 8th in bench reps at his pro day. But he's got C pass block, D run block finesse, D run block power. But we are like late 6th round, so we'll go ahead and take a risk on him. And then I want to see if that receiver gets drafted, because if he doesn't, I have one more 6th round pick, and I am willing to burn it on him just to test something. Did I accidentally just send past my pick? I'm pretty sure I did. Well, let's see who it took for us, because I was just clicking way too fast and not paying attention to where I picked. Can I not see who has... No. Okay, you can't see who you drafted yet. And the Bengals in the 6th round with Brent Ashmore. So he needs to get by 2 more picks. Tyler Addison and Jared Ridgeway. All right, we have 2 7th round picks. We are going to burn one on Owen De Poffy. He is probably awful, but if he's willing to convert to tight end and it's a draft story, I'm willing to take a risk to see if it's actually worth anything. And with our last pick in the 7th round, he's a potential undrafted free agent, or at least that's what he was projected to be. But he's got C catching. I know none of his other stats. He runs a 4.42 and a 4.35, so he's fast as shit. We're going to take Dwight Green. He's probably awful, but 7th round, so not a terrific draft. We only got one dude that has a hidden dev trait. We only got one player like that, and it was our 3rd overall pick. So I'd hope I can land a hidden dev trait with a 3rd overall pick. But let's go ahead and take a look at the draft recap. Brian Tyson, a 72 overall. And let's take a look at all of his ratings. 89 speed, 93 acceleration, 81 catching, 80 catch in traffic, 82 medium route is his best, jumping 94, spectacular catch 87. I am excited about this kid. And not to mention, he's 6'5". Perry Patton, our left tackle that we took, he may move to the right tackle, but I'm not 100% sure yet. Looking at his ratings, he's not horrible. 70 pass block, 77 run block power, 80 impact, 72 awareness. I think he was a pretty solid pick. Our next pick, Brian Horan, 90 strength, 68 run block, 74 pass block, 83 impact block. I think he's going to be a pretty serviceable backup too, maybe a starter. And then I apparently simulated 2 draft picks in this episode. Awesome, because we took tight end Lamar Boswell in the 3rd round. 85 speed, 84 catching. Okay. All right, never mind. The CPU made a really good decision here. He's a 75 overall when his morale isn't dead. Josh Minsu, right guard out of Oregon State. 83 strength, 72 run block, 62 pass block. That's not good. 75 run block power, 72 pass block power, 79 impact blocking. Then we have Orlando Michael, and don't get attached to any of these players' numbers. I'll probably change a few of them around. But 92 speed, 61 man, 66 zone, 72 play rec. Okay. Well, at least he's fast, so he has that going for him. Floyd Spence, the middle linebacker I took that I probably didn't need. 89 speed, 73 tackle. Where's that play rec? 68, 64 zone coverage, 73 pursuit, 84 hit power. I think him and Josh Favors might make a decent duo, but he will sit behind Bobby Wagner for a little bit and learn. Then we had Jeremiah Moats, a 67 overall right end, and 81 speed, 59 block shedding. That's not great. 78 tackle, 81 agility. Obviously another player that will probably be a project. Then we had right tackle Manny Crable, 88 strength, 81 impact blocking, 65 run block power. Obviously, his blocking stats aren't great, except that impact blocking is really good, an 81 for a 6th round pick. Then I believe this is the other guy the CPU took, Pat Gates, a rookie out of West Georgia with 90 speed, 70 zone, 66 tackle, 76 pursuit, 59 play rec, 92 acceleration. Okay, so another guy that, we're getting a lot of projects here, but obviously we're a bad team. Owen De Poffy is a 46 overall receiver. Yeah, that is easily the worst dude I have ever taken. But I am hoping... Ooh, those run blocks... Those blocking stats don't look good. 40 pass block, 39 impact. Yeah, he may have been just a complete bust of a pick. He may not make the final roster, honestly. I wasn't too concerned with that, though, because it was in the 7th round. And then Dwight Green, defensive back out of Stanford. 90 speed, 64 man, 51 zone. You will never play zone coverage a day in your career. 48 tackle, 87 acceleration, 85 jumping. Another guy that may end up not making the roster, but it was worth the risk. All right, let's see how the rest of the 1st round went. We have Julian Chambers, wide receiver now for the Jets. 79 overall, 93 speed, 94 acceleration, 84 catching, 77 catching traffic. Yeah, this dude is going to be a monster. And he has a hidden dev trait. Tony Youngblood, the replacement for Matt Ryan. 75 overall, 96 throw power. That dude has a cannon. 81 deep accuracy, 78 medium, 76 short. Man, I hope we don't have to play him too much later on in his career. Because, yeah, he's going to be ridiculously good too. Then we saw Brian Tyson. And then here's the quarterback they were mocking to us, Travis Tracy. So the top 4 picks in the draft all had hidden dev traits. So this is a very top-heavy draft, I feel like. But Travis Tracy, 92 throw power, 76 deep, 79 medium, 81 short. He's not great. He's a 72 overall, which is, I think, close to what Spitzer was. Then you got J.D. Pryor at the 5th pick, another hidden dev trait, 76 overall. This dude is going to be a beast as well. Steven Madsen, the middle linebacker I was considering before I got Bobby Wagner, another hidden dev trait, 91 speed, oh my god. Well, that dude is going to be a beast as well. This is going to be a ridiculous draft class. And then they took Roman Hinton, who also has a hidden dev trait, and a 74 overall, 87 speed, 79 catching, 90 acceleration. The 8th overall pick, Oscar Ziegler, another hidden dev trait. 91 speed, 91 acceleration, 78 catching, 5'11". I don't know if this dude's going to become a monster, but he's going to be solid. And Dallas has the first person that is not a hidden dev trait, wide receiver Greg Sauter out of Virginia. 91 speed, 91 acceleration, 85 catching. I really feel like receiver was not your biggest need, and I think they went receiver last year too. And then the number 10 pick, Owen Goddard. So out of the top 10, 9 have hidden dev traits. The best player in the draft was Julian Chambers, followed by Darryl Coles, and then Jaden Langley, the running back the Buccaneers took. Hey, Brian Tyson's in the top 5. We didn't do too bad. He's tied for a few people, but still up there. Fastest player in the draft is Derek Jefferson, wide receiver that went to Green Bay, followed by Cameron Smith, the wide receiver the Eagles took in the first round. So they get a burner as well. All right, I want to take a look at some of these quarterbacks that got drafted. First, there's Bryce Freeman, who has a hidden dev trait for the Giants, so he may end up being better than Daniel Jones. 91 throw power, 75 deep accuracy, 80 medium, 75 short. You know, they got him pretty late in the round at pick 22, hidden dev trait quarterback. Kind of can't ask for much more. 84 speed as well. Then Gavin Bennett, a 63 overall, went to the Rams. Dion Amos went to the Vikings in the 6th. Daniel Smith might be the worst QB in this class, and he went in the 3rd round to Jacksonville. Why is Jacksonville using a 3rd round pick on a quarterback? I have no idea. Blame EA. Jake Stark, 5th round quarterback, went to the Bears, 66 overall. Miles Backus, the FCS player of the year, has a normal dev trait and a 60 overall, went to the Ravens. Spencer Dunn, the Heisman winning quarterback, goes in the 3rd round to the Chargers for whatever reason. He obviously gets a hidden dev trait. He doesn't look bad. That 59 awareness is awful, though. Bernie Campbell, a 62 overall, goes to the football team. Bobby Walters, a 60 overall quarterback, goes to the Patriots. Then the top 2 QBs you guys have already seen. Kendall Tolliver is the last quarterback to look at, and he goes in the 2nd round to the Bills. Why are the Bills using a... EA, you have to improve the draft logic. The Colts did okay. 71 overall, 74 overall, 71, 69, 66, 64, and 64. So they get a left tackle, a running back, and a center. So they went offensively heavy in the first little bit. Protect Carson Wentz, give Carson Wentz another weapon, and protect Carson Wentz. The Jaguars took Von Bozeman, one of the wide receivers here. A hidden dev trait for him. 92 speed, 93 acceleration. So Trevor Lawrence gets another target. And he got another one with John Bass in the 2nd round. And then they go safety in the 3rd. And past that, really no one of importance. And then the Titans took one player over 70 overall. That is rough. They took Jeremiah Williams, a left end out of Cal. So in case you want to know, he went to a 45, which I think means that he got worse. So yeah, Owen De Poffy will most likely not make the roster. That is not good. I don't know what he thought. I don't know why it gave you a draft story or anything. But yeah, that's obviously horrible. Okay, so I haven't started adding anyone to the team yet. I just wanted to come look at the free agents. Tom Brady is still not signed by anybody, but Baker Mayfield is now gone. Well, in a move that really makes no sense, Baker Mayfield signed on to be the backup in Cincinnati. Okay, looking at the Eagles roster, they're the only team that would have Tariq Cohen start immediately. So I'm going to ask for a 3rd round pick from Philadelphia. And we get it. Okay, like I said, I'm going to try to trim out some of this roster. Guys like Daniel Shepard with 91 speed, 89 acceleration. They really have nothing that makes them stand out to me. You are getting released. It will free $0 in cap space, but I now have extra roster space so I can bring in other people. Another person that's getting cut is Reggie Bagleton, because I'm pretty sure this is another one the CPU signed for me. And I'm going to offer Nico Collins of the Patriots for a 4th round pick, and no, okay. I mean, I don't want to just straight up cut him, so 6th round pick. Yep, at least we got something for him. Yeah, I'm just going to release Owen De Poffy now. I don't even care that it gives me dead cap. I'm going to release Damone Harris. Some of these guys we may end up bringing back whenever I start to look at free agents, but for right now, I just want to clear up some roster space so I can go actually sign some free agents. I'm also going to cut Tommy McPhee. Once again, free $0 in cap space, but I just need roster space. Alright, I'm going to offer Eric Wilson to the Niners for a 3rd round pick. And we get that. So now we have 3 3rd round picks next year. Alright, and I know I'm cutting out a few of the guys that I signed last season as undrafted free agents, but once again, trying to make some room, and then hopefully I can, well, let's go ahead and get rid of Juju Hughes too. I think that was another one the CPU signed. I did not sign him. Just making space, and like I said, some of these guys may end up coming back, but as of right now, I'm just clearing cap space or clearing roster space to try to bring on some fresh talent. Also going to release our punter, Cameron Johnston. He shanked a few punts that I saw last year, and I'd rather bring in someone else. So we're going to bring in AJ Cole, an 83 overall punter with 90 kick accuracy and 96 kick power. And hopefully we can actually start penning people deep, because we could not do that last season at all. Okay, the first rookie we're going to sign is Randy Cloud out of Louisville. He's got 91 throw power, 73 deep accuracy, 72 medium, and 72 short. The only real thing holding him down is that awareness. So usually I like to sign my corners that are a little bit taller, but we are going to bring in Bryce Callahan to kind of have a depth role and maybe play some in the slot. We are also going to bring back Rodney McLeod. And yeah, I know I cut him, but like I said, some of these guys might be coming back, so we're going to bring back John Bonds. We're going to bring in rookie DeAndre Toon. Also going to bring in left guard Shane Douglas, and I realize I haven't been showing you some of the ratings, so here are his. Okay, so that is everyone we are bringing in. In the next episode, we will knock the preseason out of the way, where we get Washington, Arizona, and then we are home against Miami. And I think it's the same exact preseason schedule as last season. But anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will talk to you guys next time.